Greetings to all. Welcome back to the third lecture of the third week in which we are discussing about digital marketing mix. In the previous two lectures, we have discussed about the product strategy, the price strategy. So today our lecture would be obviously will focus on the place strategy, that is the third important P in the marketing mix. So let us have a discussion on this. Let us have more comprehensive understanding on what place strategy is and how digital marketing or digital revolution is actually making a difference in the place strategy. So place strategy in marketing mix refers to designing and managing the integrated marketing channels. So it refers to designing and managing the integrated marketing channels. So marketing channels, so there are different or there are numerous or various types of marketing channels, and how a company is effectively integrating the marketing channels so as to design and manage its own marketing channels so that it leads to optimum utilization of resources is basically purview of place strategy. So product and services, as we know, are not always sold directly to the consumers. However, with the advent of digitalization and internet, there are direct selling through online, but still even in online business, in e-commerce business, there are different type of intermediaries involved. So we know that in general the product and services are not sold directly to the customers. Between the customers and consumers stands a set of intermediaries, and these set of intermediaries constitute the marketing channel. So when we say what is marketing channel, it actually means a set of intermediaries. By set of intermediaries we mean different types of intermediaries who jointly work together to constitute a marketing channel, and this marketing channel helps. Even in marketing channels, a company can have a marketing channel mix where it can have different marketing channel for e-commerce, different marketing channel for traditional commerce, traditional exchange of goods and services, and even for traditional goods and services they can have different channels. It depends upon the type of product, type of consumers, and so on. So essentially a company have its own mix of marketing channels, and when they have this optimum mix, that is basically called integrated marketing channels. So marketing channels, also known as distribution channel, is the path through which the product flow from place of production, it is very important, place of production to the place of consumption. So it's a pathway through which the product or services flows from the point of production to the point of consumption. So between this point there are different intermediaries who play their role in smooth flow of the product and services. So you must have heard about the pull strategy and the push strategy. So push strategy is, this is very interesting. A push strategy is when you activate and motivate the intermediaries to push your product to the consumers. So you use different promotional offers, you give various discounts and various allowances to the intermediaries, and you motivate them to push the product to consumers. And in the pull strategy you try to advertise, you try to promote, you try to create publicity of your product in such a way that it is demanded by the consumers. So it creates a pull of the product towards the consumers. So that is basically called pull strategy. So moving ahead, there are certain concepts we need to understand. One is multi-channel marketing. So multi-channel marketing, as the name itself suggests, it means a company having multiple channels for marketing or multiple channels of sending the products from the point of production to the point of consumption. So marketing channel, if a company has a different set of marketing channels, it is basically multi-channel marketing. Similarly, omni-channel is when the online aspect is also taken care of, so it's a blend of both online and offline. Integrated marketing channels, as we have said, it is a combination of different channel mix, and so that it can optimally utilize the resources of the organization. So integrated marketing channel will include the omni channel, also will include the multi channel, and it would be in such a way that the customer, whether he chooses the digital way of buying the product or non-digital way of buying the product, he experiences the same level of satisfaction, he experiences the same ease of ordering or buying the product, right. So we need to understand that in multi-channel marketing, the focus is on channel. So the focus is on intermediaries. In omni-channel, the focus is on consumers, right. So that is the basic difference. Also, there is a concept of value networking. So in value networking, you make your suppliers or the supplier's supplier or your intermediaries as a partner. So when you work as a partner in such a way that the flow of the product creates value to the product, that is basically called, so basically you are valuing the marketing channels. So you are creating a relationship, you are building a relationship and you are partnering with the intermediaries. So that is a very layman concept of value networking. So these are certain concepts which covers or which explains the contemporary marketing channels. So moving ahead is the channel levels. So this is very interesting. This is from Kotler and Keller in their Pearson publication book. So Kotler, he talks about two different marketing channels have been highlighted here: the consumer marketing channels and industrial marketing channels. Now it is interesting to note that there are different levels of channels. So it is a 0 level, there is 1 level, 2 level and 3 level. So 0 level is one where the manufacturer is selling the products directly to the consumers. So it is a direct selling and the manufacturer is directly selling the consumers, and this digitalization, with the advent of internet and digitalization, this is a very common practice. So when you have a reduced number or no intermediaries, obviously you gain many things, right. You have a more autonomy or you will reduce the cost, because adding more intermediaries will add to the cost also, and ultimately the consumer has to pay a higher price. So in case of direct selling from manufacturer to consumer, the manufacturer can actually leverage that cost. However, there are many bottlenecks also, there are many drawbacks also, because many times the wholesalers, the retailers, they also promote your products, they also facilitate in the selling of the products, because the retailers, for example, they are in direct contact with the consumers. They have if they have that convincing and influencing power, they can influence a customer or they can attract customer towards buying your product. So they also plays a very important role. Now as a marketer, you need to understand whether you should have a proper balance, you should have a trade-off, whether you want to keep a 0 level marketing channel or you want to keep a 3 level, 4 level, whatever. So we need to have a trade-off, we need to have to understand the cost and benefit arising from either 0 level or n level of the marketing channels. So as I have said, 0 level means direct from manufacturer to consumer. 1 level would be when there is one intermediaries, for example, manufacturer is giving the products to the retailers and from retailers it is going to the consumers. Similarly, 2 level is the most common. From manufacturer it goes to wholesaler, and from wholesaler it goes to retailer, and finally to the consumer. So this is the most common channel if we say the marketing channel or the distribution channel, and there could be 3 level, 4 level and so on. In case of industrial products also, there is 0 level, 1 level, 2 level and 3 level. So we need to understand what this level means. So 0 means no intermediaries, and whatever is the number of level, that means that much number of intermediaries are involved between the manufacturer and the consumer. So between the point of production to the point of consumption. So this is very interesting. There are certain steps in channel design decisions. So whenever we have to design the channel, there are certain decisions that has to be taken care of. So first is analyzing the customer needs and wants. So what is the need of the customers? So what customers want and what is their requirement? So we need to understand that, and accordingly we need to create the channel. So sometime it might happen that customer are more comfortable in buying the goods online. Nowadays it have become a trend, rather it is a concept of re-intermediation. Now these traditional intermediaries have been replaced by online intermediaries. For example, Swiggy, Zomato, they are delivering food from a restaurant to you. Then there are Blinkit is there, and JioMart is there. I said there are many, Flipkart or say Amazon. So there are many intermediaries have evolved. For example, Uber, Ola, all these are, if you see in one sense, they are one way of intermediaries itself, right? So we need to understand that how and what and when the customer needs a product and what are their wants, what are their requirements. We need to understand them, and accordingly we need to establish our objectives. So what is our objectives of channel design, what we want to gain out of it, right? So channel design will also depend upon the nature of the product, the nature of the customer. So sometimes it is happen that the product is very delicate and it is not possible to go through various channels. So in that case it would be directly delivered to the customers. Similarly, if it is of something of high value, in that case also the level of channel would be lesser, the number of intermediaries would be lesser. So it will depend upon the nature of the product. Similarly, the nature of the customer, what is his style of buying or shopping, and also you have to think about the constraint. So you have to think about the channel budget. You have to also have to calculate whether when you add more and more intermediaries, your autonomy will be diluted. So you have lesser control over the products. So the retailers, for example, or the wholesaler, for example, they have products from different companies. Even they will be having the product of your competitor. So now you don't actually know whether he is promoting your product or the wholesaler is promoting or the intermediary is promoting your competitor's product. So again, the person would be interested, whoever gives the highest margin, obviously he will sell that product, right? So in that sense, you lose your autonomy and you totally rely on the person, the wholesaler and the retailer, how he is promoting the product. So if you think about the traditional marketing channel, so in that system, what happened, whatever retailer used to recommend, the customer only used to take that understanding only, right? So for example, if I remember from my childhood, when I used to go to buy a toothpaste or something, so the retailer will say, okay, this is the new one, this is good one, it is refreshing and so on. So he will count many features of it and he will try to sell that product. So you don't know, because the information was very little and the promotional strategies was not very much viral in comparison to today's digital technology, where the advertisement and ads are more prominent, and there is more information about the product. So whatever retailer used to suggest, we used to buy. And similarly, for example, if you want to go to buy a car, so whatever the agent is or the salesperson is explaining to you, you will take that only, right? But now today you have various sources of information. You can take the information from the various sources. You can actually make a comparison and you can take a more informed decisions. So again, so that is a different point of discussion. So I was talking about constraints. So you lose the autonomy, you lose control over your product. You never know whether it is being promoted or not promoted. So promotion was also it was questionable, right? So also budget is again a very big constraint, because more intermediaries means more cost, right? And it will finally fall to the consumer, and a consumer will have to pay. So the cost will actually be bear by the customer only. So we need to understand all these constraints, and accordingly we need to identify the major channel alternatives. So what could be the different channel alternatives? What could be the different intermediaries or combination of intermediaries you choose? So once you identify them, you will evaluate them and you will try to take a decision that which alternative, after evaluation, which alternative is the best, and accordingly you make a decision. So these are the steps in channel design decision. So moving ahead is steps in channel management. So channel management is different from channel design. So in channel design you are actually deciding the framework, you are actually deciding who would be the intermediaries, what would be the number of intermediaries, as in you will deciding the level of marketing channels. So here you need to decide overall management, how you are going to select the channel members, how you are going to train and motivate them so that they sell your products, they promote your products. So as you can see, these top points are self explanatory in themselves. So first is selecting the channel member. So who would be your channel member? You select the channel member. After proper evaluation, you finally select the channel member. You train them, you motivate the channel members. You train them how to sell, because they, as I've said, they are the people who are in direct contact with the customers. For example, retailers, they are in direct touch with the retailers. So how they are going to project the product and how they are going to sell it. So personal selling, however, it is a different aspect, but still most of the time the retailers, they also do personal selling, right? So motivating them, training them, giving some allowance, giving them some monetary benefits, all this comes under this, right? So you need to train them, you need to motivate them. Motivating could be both monetary as well as non-monetary. In the third step, you need to evaluate the channel members. So you need to evaluate channel members, and evaluation could be on different criteria. It could be on economic criteria. So on the whether it is costly or not, whether it is significantly affecting the price of the product or not, because if you remember from the last lecture, we talked about price elasticity. So for example, if we add some channel member and it is significantly increasing the price of the product, and the product is price elastic, so obviously it will affect the demand. So we have to think about this. So we have to think about the economic aspect, we have to think about the cost structure, we have to think about the autonomy, all those things we have to think accordingly. We have to select, and we need to modify channel designs and make a new arrangements. So we need to when it's a continuous monitoring, we need to keep on monitoring, we need to keep on checking how the channels members are performing, and accordingly we need to modify the channel design. So channel modification decisions we have to take. And sometimes there is a global channel consideration also, when for example, if you want to go to a global market, so obviously you have to have different channel members. So in case of global initiatives, in case you are going for foreign trade, so in that case obviously your channel members will differ, your channel decisions will differ. So that is again another aspect that has to be taken care of. So if we talk about the emerging trends in channel marketing, so e-commerce and m-commerce have evolved as a very emerging channel in the channel marketing. So e-commerce, now these are very common term, like many of us are very much aware about it. So e-commerce is doing buying and selling. So it's a process of buying and selling through electronic media. So on electronic or through the help of internet. So e-commerce is basically that, right? So m-commerce is again, it's very evolving, where the buying and selling happens through mobile phones, right? So again, this is something which is happening, and it is real in the sense that nowadays it rarely happens that the customers, they buy products from their desktop or laptops or something like that. Rather they have this mobile phone now with the advent of smartphones, right? So smartphones have significantly contributed in the exponential growth of m-commerce. So now you can book tickets, you can recharge your mobile phone, you can recharge your dish TV, you can buy any product from various shopping apps, you can buy groceries from needle to whatever, aeroplane, I don't know, maybe even you can buy airplane also using smartphones. The point is, if it is possible online, then it could be done in mobile, it could be done through mobile. So if it is possible, if buying a car is possible through internet, through e-commerce, then now it is possible through m-commerce as well. So the point here is, the companies also, they are trying to have mobile friendly websites. So they are creating websites which have both the systems, they have this desktop view, and they also have this mobile enabled or smartphone enabled adjustment website, right? So it can adjust with the smartphone resolution, screen resolution or something like that. So even they have created different apps, as in applications. So we have different apps which functions in mobile. So we have, like for example, we have, you must be aware, we have shopping apps, we have banking and financial apps. So if we gone other days when you have to go to bank to transfer money, and now it's on your tip of hand, right? You can easily transfer a fund, or you can easily remit some amount to anyone through m-commerce, or through using the mobile phone or mobile applications. And also there are various entertainment apps like Netflix is there, Amazon Prime is there, and so on, right? So various entertainment apps is also there. So the point is, everyone is shifting from e-commerce to m-commerce mostly, and especially the generation Z, these Gen Z and millennials, they are, more comfortable in doing or in shopping or in any exchange of goods and services or something like that. They are more comfortable on their mobile phone through smartphones. Now they are using smartphones to do all these activities. So this m-commerce is now emerging. So the trend started from traditional. It started from traditional to e-commerce, and from e-commerce now it is going to m-commerce. So essentially now we have everything in our just small mobile phone, in our pockets and in our hand tips, right? So according to Dave and Fiona, the main implication that internet has placed on has made on a place element of the mix are place of purchase. I have discussed. Now place of purchase is not necessarily the offline store, right? So offline store used to be one, but now it is more on online store. So that is why companies are also going on brick and click companies or pure click companies from typical brick and mortar companies, right? So place of purchase, now it is not necessary. Even a person is in his room, in his bedroom, and is very comfortable position, still he can go for shopping and something like that. So the point is, the whole point here is what? Convenience. So convenience, ease of ordering, ease of order, even payment, ease of payment, all these have facilitated the emergence of m-commerce. So this is how the internet has revolutionized the whole concept of place of purchase. Similarly, there are different new channel structures have emerged. So I will discuss this in the next slide. Also there is a problem of channel conflict. When there is an offline system and online system, there is always a conflict of the channel members. So obviously the offline, the intermediaries, in traditional intermediaries, they will not accept a company to directly sell to the customer. So as we know that through internet, it is now possible for manufacturer to directly sell the products to the customers through their website. So now they can attract the traffic to their website, online traffic to their website, and from there the customer can actually order a product, and it would be delivered at his doorstep, right? So again, so somehow essentially they are reducing the importance of the channel intermediaries. So that is creating a conflict between the intermediaries and the direct selling. And also some this online intermediaries, as I will give an example of say Swiggy, say Zomato, or say Blinkit, or Jio Mart, and even various shopping apps like Flipkart, Myntra, Amazon. So all this have have changed the way in which the products are now being delivered to the customers. So they are purely based. Similarly, if you see 1mg, they are delivering medicines and all those things. There are many other household services are being provided through Urban Clap, right? So Urban Clap is there. So the point is, the way the intermediaries have changed. So intermediaries have now become more more web based, more online internet based. So that somehow is creating a conflict. And emergence of virtual organizations. So I have discussed this. So there is an emergence of virtual organization. Now the companies, they want to have their online presence. Now they want to develop as a mortar and brick and click company. So they want to have a physical existence as well as online existence, and sometimes in few cases even the company want to purely digitalize also, right. So they are moving towards being the virtual organization. So as I was talking about the new channel structure, disintermediation is a process in which the companies are removing or does not including any intermediaries, and they are directly selling to the customer. So that is disintermediation. Reintermediation, when new channels are being introduced, and these channels are primarily the web based, the online internet based, as I have given the example in the previous slide. And counter mediation is when the companies, they are developing their own intermediaries. So this is how the channel structure is now being changed, right. So that is all from my side. Hope I made a clarity on the place strategy. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.